Previously on Baltimore County Forever Podcast.
Nas did nothing effectively to get a response. He did nothing.
Oh boy, these clips on YouTube are going to be fucking fantastic.
He did nothing.
And welcome back to another installment of Baltimore County Forever Podcast. Jesus Christ.
Damn.
See what kind of condition you're in. Welcome back to another installment of Baltimore County Forever Podcast. What up, though? I am me.
I don't know.
The boy's soaring.
It is what it is till it is.
Oh, man. What's going on, cousin? Now?
Same thing, man. Life is good. Just appreciating the good moments and, smiling and laughing when I can.
Okay. I want to touch on something, and I wanted to save it for when we were recording. I was playing the Jay-Z and Jay Electronica album, and you were saying, because I don't know what he was talking about in the record. Hold on. What record is it?
Oh, we going in early.
I don't know.
What
song
man.
that was.
He was talking about the Orishas.
What are the Orishas?
So the Orishas are Yoruba gods and goddesses. They are, I guess here we gonna go early.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, you have the god Shango, right?
Okay.
He is the god of thunder, the god of drum. And he is involved in the story of the Haitian Revolution. A big part of it. So basically when you start learning, that's why when I say things like, once you know who the fuck we are,
mm-hmm.
right? Once you start learning what this DNA is, what this skin is, you start to learn about what it means to be African and African American at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
There are literal broken connections, like literal. That's the disconnect, right? With us on this side of the water,
mm-hmm.
right? When those Europeans came and were snatching us off of the continent, they were literally just breaking connections, breaking ancestral connections, familial connections. And so for a lot of us, we don't know who we are. We don't know the gods and the goddesses of our cultures and our heritages. We've been taught that hoodoo and voodoo and Santeria, all these religions are black and dark, and
mm-hmm.
But these are literally the religions of our ancestors, right?
Mm-hmm.
People like Nat Turner, he read the Bible, right?
Mm-hmm.
They taught him to read the Bible. And the night he started his revolution, when they caught him, they said, "Why'd you do it?" He said, "I read the Bible and God spoke to me." And they were like, "Well, what did God say?" He said, "Y'all niggas got to go. All of y'all." That's the Haitian Revolution. It
is the never ending story.
Right. So, wait a minute. Is that all the lyrics?
Nigga fingers too big. All right. So this is Jay-Z's verse.
Yeah, Jay-Z's verse.
I think it was. There we go. This is
so, like, for example,
his verse is starting here.
Oh, okay. All right. So the story takes place in ancient Egypt. They'll cut off the nose to spite their face. So, if you know the story of the Sphinx.
Yes, the
right?
noses are always cut off.
The noses are always cut off because when you learn true African history, they always teach you that the Nile is the only river that runs south to north.
Huh.
I don't know
Full
what
circle.
fucking world water goes this way, or when you look at the Nile, they always say that this is the lower Nile and this is the upper Nile. I don't know how upper is underneath lower,
mm-hmm.
right? I don't know. I'm not a I don't know. How is upper underneath lower? So in reality, if you think about it, the map that they've always shown us, pure math, pure fucking math. Africa, tip to tip, is 11.73 million square miles.
Okay.
Right? Russia is 6.11 million square miles. Numbers might be skewed a little bit, but in my world, 11 is more than 6, right?
Yeah.
Every map you've been shown, it's always showed Africa.
This big.
So by pure math, Africa is literally twice the size of Russia.
Damn.
By pure fucking math. I'm not making that up. That's their math. That's the planet's math.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at a map, we're not taught that we're great, because if you see yourself as small, or if you see yourself as bigger, then you're not going to respect anybody else. So, like, for example, when you learn the story of, there's all kind of different accounts. I've learned that it was Napoleon that shot the noses off, because he could not believe that the noses of the Sphinx, the noses of the pharaohs, they had noses like me and you. They had big bell pepper ass noses. They had big soup cooler ass lips. Well, guess what? That means that the gods, the pharaohs, they look like me and you and y'all. They were black. They were black Africans. And so what I'm learning on my side is these motherfuckers really got down that documentary. I'm not making this up. It's right there.
Disney Plus.
National Geographic. Because that's the thing. You know, when you look at this all, it's all about keeping you looking here. And instead, what you have to look is right. It's right there. It's like, all you got to do is go, and you go, oh, shit. And you learn that Africa is literally twice the size of everything else. I'm about to blow your mind with this one. This is going to fuck you up. To show you I'm not bullshitting. Come on.
It's funny that song was playing when we were during pre-recording, is because I read an article. That's the chord I was looking for right there by the playing cards. But I was reading an article that Matt Kami was supposed to be on a record. They just didn't use his verse. It was an article about him coming there recording the same time. He came to the studio. Hov told him to come to the studio around the time that they was recording, and he recorded a verse. Said the verse was so crazy that Beyonce came in and listened to it. She was like, "Y'all trying to kill somebody?"
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I cannot say. You know, and it's not on some hush hush like they didn't stuck something in me. No, there are a lot of truths that when you learn, when you read and you learn and you understand, there are a lot of truths that have been, or a lot of lies that have been hardened in us. And I'm talking as a society, as a culture of humans and human beings and humankind. Right? As where we are right now in time and space, you know that there's things that cannot be undone. This system has been so hard and it's spinning so fast. It's spinning out of control. They literally they were like, oh shit. And now that we've entered, we are literally, I don't know if y'all know it. I think I mentioned it before. But we were talking about Web3, right?
About 2 episodes ago we saw about Web3.
The third generation of the web. This is we are out of the industrial age. We are literally in a new age, a digital age, right? Everybody watching this, when we think about, hold that.
Okay, go ahead.
When we think about the industrial age and they had all them Model T cars and how did they drive and walk and take the bus, and that's us. in 100 years, they're going to be looking at our stuff like, how did they drive? Ew. They put gas in cars.
Mm-hmm.
Everything looks so ill. That's going to be, this is a new age.
Similar to how kids look at the payphone and beepers
And VCRs.
and
I want you to tap that button real fast. Just once. It says show real size. That is the real size of the planet. That is the real size of the planet, bro.
so the blue is
What we see, the blue is the map as it's shown.
mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the map that we're taught. So when you go show real size, the red is the real size of the countries. The blue is how much larger it's enlarged on the map. That's the real size.
Can you send me that?
Yeah. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So the reason that song stuck with me and those lyrics and things like that is because I'm learning about the African gods and goddesses and I'm learning that it's very important for us to make a connection. Like you don't have to go buddy find every African restaurant, every Ethiopian or Senegalese. No, you don't have to do all of that and run up. No. Right now, it is what it is. The connections are, the good thing is we're all making connections, right? We talked about it. You know, you got us working with brothers and sisters from Nigeria and Belize and all of that. And everybody just realizing like, hey, this world is, these motherfuckers did a number on us. Holy shit, they did a number on everybody. All right, everybody, let's figure this out together, right? And it's a literal fight for survival, right? And so I know, it's like, damn, like Outkast. First them niggas was pimps, and they talking space shit. But yeah, it's a lot. But yes, learn, plain and simple, break it down. Keep it simple. You don't have to go out and all of a sudden be super duper X-Clan, but learn to talk to your ancestors. Talk to your granny. Talk to your great-great-granny, right? You don't know them, but they know you. Like my pop said, when you call on the ancestors, they have to help you because you're the only evidence they were here. So when you start to learn to talk to your ancestors and you start to learn who Shango is and the god of thunder and he's the god of drum.
Yeah. I went to Genius.
Yeah.
Genius with the breakdown of the verse.
Right. And so some of those things he's saying is like, oh, Hov been reading.
Yes. So like, you know,
let's post more reading.
The boy kicking knowledge. But it goes, you know how some people be like, oh well, you know, the typical the Jay-Z and Nas versus thing. But it's like, oh well, Nas been did this, that, and the third. It's like, bro, when a nigga realize certain things, I'm trying to be very vague, but when a nigga realize certain things are happening around him and certain practices of the world in general may not be what it seems, and he speaks on it, somebody always brings up, well, who done it first?
Listen, bro, learn what brain fog is. Holy fuck. Learn what brain fog is because you'll learn that a lot of the shit that we do, a lot of the shit that we say has been given to us. So, like I say, those are things that are hardened in us that we can't, you know, Nas is saying this now. Oh, he he's not, oh, you know, he ain't talking that shit no more, blah, blah, blah. No, bro, when you realize who the fuck we are,
Yes.
you stop playing.
Yeah.
Nigga, I learned the history of the word fetish. I sent that shit to you, right? Did you read it?
The fetish one or the other one? When we were talking, you found out where a flex comes from? Where
Okay, that's something tied into. All right.
Wait, before we shift gears a little bit, I do want to say, I want to go back to Hove and like, his can I say awakening or just understanding what the world is when he seen Ab-Soul. The way he greeted Ab-Soul was how we should greet each other as black men.
Mm-hmm. And I don't even know what you're talking about.
Without oh no, that's without being homophobic.
Listen,
he greeted him. He said, "Beautiful black man."
Listen, when you
stare,
when you start to, all right, fuck it, we here.
We are
there. I watched. All right, we are in a pitfall. We are in a pitfall, and it's not our fault. Mm-hmm. We a lot of shit. Damn near all of us don't know what the fuck happened to us, right? Mm-hmm. There is something that and it ain't. It's a lot. It's intricate in there. It's intricacies in there, but when you start to shake off, you will literally shake off shit, like, and it, like, you will literally feel it shaking off, and you start to look at people for who they are. Like, you'll start to look at people, and I won't see, Corey, like, oh, this nigga. No, I'm like, yo, I see his soul. Bet. What's up, bro? That's what this is about. Like, like Nip said, oh, you official now. Well, you got a soul to save. Right? That's what it is. Like, energy recognizes energy. Mm-hmm. Energy also, bruh. I've had motherfuckers come down the street and I'm like, dog, you don't feel right. And these motherfuckers will walk the fuck around me. Like, when you learn who the fuck you are, when you learn what this thing can do, but it's like, yeah, that's real. So Ab-Soul, he bared his soul to the world, so much so that it created such a crack in people that it shook up so me. I think I cried for like 3 days straight. Like, that shit hit me at my core. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is happening, right? Mm-hmm. And that's like, when you see that kind of, you're like, yo, dude, if anything, it's a thank you, right? Not Kid Cudi. He was down for a long. I think we mentioned it, like, you know what I'm saying. But now, he made that movie on Netflix, Intergalactic.
I still haven't seen it. I remember you was telling me about it.
Yeah, it's a cool little flick. You know what I'm saying? Like you can tell he's just happy in life,
having fun.
Yeah, I mean, there comes a point where you let it go, but you gotta sit with yourself, and that's hard to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people don't want to do. People get comfortable in bullshit. Pig and slop. They literally created a world of shit, and we're just comfortable in it. Unfortunately. But when you, less posting, more reading. When you say, you know what? I want to just read a book. You ain't even got to go to the library. You got audiobooks.
I love me an audio.
I love it. Like, yo.
I actually just downloaded the Nipsey book. The marathon still continues.
I haven't gotten there yet.
I downloaded that, and I downloaded a WWE writer's book. But audio books are amazing, bro. The podcast. I just finished Conviction. It's about Max B's case. Really, really good. He has input on it. He's on there talking about the case as well. But yeah, I don't know. Greeting each other with the level of respect that we are supposed to greet each other with is just such a big thing as I get older. I know we all jokingly adapt sometimes the 5% of phrases of like king and earth and gods. But that if once you get to
that shit is real.
yes, once you start reading on it and stuff, I normally just just sporadically read on it. Sometimes I'll even look and see whatever today's mathematics is, because it's always been interesting to me because I always seen the Wu-Tang do it, and then it was Wu-Tang, then it was
You want to hear something crazy?
like
Numbers, bruh.
not like Dewey Decimals and shit.
Yeah,
like
no.
that,
No, I'm talking
Dewey
actual.
Decimals. Wow.
I'm talking actual equations. How, dog? That shit is crazy, right?
Yeah.
And so, so leading into that, that's one of the things I wanted to.
And I don't mean any disrespect by saying jokingly. It's just
No. I'm glad you brought that up.
not knowing the
So here's the
parameters
thing.
behind it.
We
Sometimes. I know some of it.
I don't know if I jump into talking about the album. Am I jumping too far?
What album?
The Genius, Jizza. Am I jumping too far ahead?
It kind of ties in.
Okay, so let's see. That album came out in
Liquid Swords, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
92. Sorry, I should know this. Oh.
So how many? 90.
No, I was in 7th grade, so that was 90.
95. Should be 95.
No, it was earlier than that. 95.
Yeah,
Wow.
95.
I could have swore it was. Okay, so the one thing about Liquid Swords is I didn't catch it because Tikal had came. I was still listening to Tikal.
Yeah.
Because meth was just that cool. But when I heard Liquid Swords, I didn't know what they were talking about, right?
As far as what gods and earth.
Yeah, I had no clue what that was.
Mm-hmm.
So, those guys from New York, and on top of that, I was living in Germany on the military base, so I was meeting people from all over.
Mm-hmm.
I would hear some of the guys say that. Even some of the older military guys, I would hear them say some of that stuff, and you could tell who was from New York and who wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what any of that meant, right? And then shout out to my homeboy Rick Bars. He's from Trinidad, but he grew up in Harlem,
Mm-hmm.
and he's about my age, and he grew up hearing all of that,
Okay.
right? And then I'm like, he just, I've known him for a couple of years. He married a really good friend of mine from high school. And then me and him got cool. And so I'm like, damn, this dude he's really sharp. You know what I'm saying? He's really on this. And he's talking about, yeah, when I was in high school, Minister Farrakhan came to speak. We had Adam Clayton Powell come to speak. Blah, 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 blah. All these influential leaders. He's in Harlem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so then now I'm learning about Dr. John Heinrich Clark, who taught at Hunter College.
Okay.
Just Google John Heinrich Clark, bro. That's one of our greatest minds that you have to know, John Heinrich Clark. And so, I realized like those cats in New York, they knew all of that stuff early.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to Bible, basic instructions before leaving Earth. The last song on Liquid Swords.
Okay.
And I'm listening to it with 43-year-old ears. And I'm understanding what the fuck they're talking about. Because now I'm like, oh shit, this is the shit that I've been reading and connecting as I'm reading.
Mm-hmm.
This came out in 95. They were already ahead. And then I'm thinking about my boy Rick.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in New York kind of was all that knowledge the nations of gods and the earths, the 5%ers, all of that kind of seemed to center around New York.
Mm-hmm.
So when we were younger, we didn't get that. But hearing it now because of the internet, you can look. You can see it.
Mm-hmm.
You can go look for it. But what do we look for when we get on the internet? Titties. Which is nothing.
Titties ain't bad though.
It's nothing wrong with that, right? No. Hold up. No. Seriously. Because I know we did the whole Laptop Chronicles, which, cool, right? But I always wondered, like, for example, like we did an episode, the difference between a kink and a fetish, right? We always wondered. Here's the thing. Fetishes are actually African artifacts, familial artifacts that have been blessed. The French demonized the word to make it something bad. That's why I sent you that. That's why I was like, yo, because I be in the gym, working out mad early. Shout out to Sav. So I be in there. I wake up 2-3 in the morning, get your circadian rhythms in order, learn to spend time in the moon as much as you do in the sun.
What is that though? I mean, I know. I just want
okay
people to understand that.
Circadian rhythms are your body's natural 24-hour cycle.
Okay.
So that's why they say it's important to go out in the sun, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's important. It's also important to go out in the moon. I think I mentioned it before.
We've spoke about it, but I don't think we were recording. I think we was just sitting around just talking.
So, I saw on a post long time ago, that Nikola Tesla said that the Earth vibrates between 6 and 8 hertz, and so for some reason I said, well, let me just try it. So I put on some headphones, got on YouTube, typed in like 6 hertz, and it's just a tone, and it was cool. It kind of relaxed me. And then I said, all right, well, let me try it again. And then I, did it more and more and more. And I guess, well, no, I don't guess. What that does is that really calms your inner soul, right? Learn.
Jizza right here.
What?
He was here today. Jizza.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up.
I believe he's performing tonight.
Ah, okay. Wait a minute. Let's say Akbar.
No, this Avenue Kitchen Bar.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, I was right down there. Circadian rhythms, yeah. So you learn that your body does have a natural 24-hour clock based on the earth. But we're taught to live in a box, and that box is time. Right? You know that bam, at 6 o'clock you wake up and you do something for 8 hours, right? And then you do something else for another 2 hours. And then, like me, for example, I did a couple powerlifting competitions, and I fucked up my back. I'm like, damn, how did I fuck up my back? I wasn't training right. Well, I was in the gym fucking around on my phone in between sets, like everybody does.
Yeah.
I was losing time
and focus.
Time on my workouts. Well, if I'm not focused on lifting this 400 pounds off the floor, well, you're going to fuck your back up again. And this time it might be permanent. So how about we stop worrying about, the last thing I remember was Kanye and that White Lives Matter shit.
Oh, yeah.
I got tired of hearing about it.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, man, fuck this shit. And the less I started doing that, I was like, shit, damn, now I got mad time in the gym because I was like, fuck. So then I started doing fucking pull-ups and shit. And next thing I know, everybody was like, yo, you losing weight? I was like, I don't know. I was like, damn. And I'm like, well, shit, if I'm not doing social media, I got to read these books. And it's like, oh, shit, what does that say? Well, let me go see what he says.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me go see what she says.
Shift your focus.
Right. And then it's kind of like, you know what? I like sitting in this corner.
Mm-hmm.
It's quiet. It's really quiet. You block out the noise.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when I realized I started driving around like, when the fuck did that building get there? When the fuck did that building get there? And at first it was kind of cool. Then I got pissed because then I started learning what brain fog is. And brain fog is basically our addictions. They scienced our addictions, not in the science of it, by saying, give them everything. Give them everything and their dopamine will attach to something. And that something could be heroin, cocaine, whiskey, porn, shopping.
Mm-hmm.
That dopamine could be anything. And what do we have right now? Everything. What do our youngins see? Everything.
Mm-hmm.
And how do they see it?
Phones, social media.
Less posting, more reading.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So now I'm listening to the Jizza, and I'm like, oh shit, now I'm understanding what the fuck he's talking about. So when I hear, cause when you learn about some of the African gods, it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I read a book called The Black God's Drum. That's when you learn some of the history of the Haitian Revolution, and that they called on the god Shango by firing the cannons.
Oh, we talked about him.
We talked about that. That's who that is. And remember that whole string of history?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's the god Shango, god of drum. The Yoruba god of drum.
Yeah.
Right. And so, you know, it's not a deep
He said that
deep
on Pound Cake.
dive in, huh?
He said that on Pound Cake. And when you learn lyrics to songs, you don't necessarily put two and two together of, oh, this might mean more.
Loaded bases.
Yeah. Double entendres.
Mortal men. What else? There's a lot out there, and we've been taught that if the information doesn't come from a certain source in a certain way, then it's not valid. And that's not how the universe works.
What is right here? It says Hope shares this day with designated feast day.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure. But see, that's the fun part about researching is, and this is not even no academic shit, just pulling shit apart.
Mm-hmm.
Church of the Orisha. And so you learn that our religions are not a bad thing. We're not a bad thing. They've been demonized so that we don't know. Because you learn that a lot of these religions are a mix of Catholicism and Rastafari and Santeria and hoodoo and voodoo, and you know, because everybody's coming together.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was forced together, right? They didn't know who they were taking, right? Mm-hmm. Like in a documentary, that archaeologist, he didn't know what history he was digging up. Right? He literally didn't know. I'm not making this up. They said it on a documentary. 1916, 100 years ago. He was in the south, the bottom of the Nile, and he went, and they said, hey, this looked like them. And he went, ain't no way.
Mm-hmm.
That was on a documentary. I'm not making it up.
Right there on a subscription that we all have. And
everybody,
we just thought we was doing it for our children because it's Disney.
Yep. Everybody looks at Marvel, which is cool. Shout out to Marvel. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, Black Panther. Shout out to Norm. Norm got in the car. He was like, hey. First thing he said, yo, I just got done watching Black Panther 2. man, what you think the premise of the movie was? I said, blacks and browns coming together. He was like, yep. You know, and it sounds fucked up. It does. And I'm not trying to be racially divisive or bigoted or anything like that. Because, you know, I know history. I love history. I don't give a fuck if it's white people's history, black people's history, Incan, Mayan, fucking South Africa. I just love history. And you learn that, man, we're all just fucking people. Some of us more than others. Some of us less than others. But at this point in the juncture, at this point in the planet, like, we're moving into a new era of living. We're going to have to learn to survive together. Right?
Yeah, this right here, I'm still following you. I was reading how Genius broke down his verse. That is something you would really enjoy. How they broke it down. You just click on any part, and then it gets a
man. My dog ate my sage, man.
Damn.
Cause he, for some reason, man, this little nigga like chewing on tree bark. So I had it sit. I ain't gonna say that. It was in the house for a reason. It was sit. So I set it on the table, and I guess he thought it was like tree bark. I came in, I see this big hunk of chewed up. I'm like, all right, I guess the little nigga blessed now. That dog holy as shit.
Nigga, wow.
Hold on.
Nigga, wow.
So yeah, shout out to Milo for eating the sage.
Yeah, this is really good.
Oh, shit. Ooh. All right, let me see. Yeah, my page turners.
But if you click on it, it gives like
each one.
Yeah. Whatever's highlighted, if you click on it, it gives a breakdown.
Story takes place in ancient Egypt. Learn about the Dogon tribe. That is some cool shit.
What is the Dogon tribe?
Dogon tribe. Dogon. The cool thing. Oh, I love that verse. Inshallah, God willing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, listen to that. So, if you get a chance, please, if you live anywhere within like 100-mile radius of Baltimore City, please go to the Sankofa Children's Museum of African Cultures. Okay? Sankofa Children's Museum of African Cultures. Some of us may never get home, right? That's okay. That's what the planet is realizing, right? But we're everywhere now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Listen to New Breed by it's got Q-Tip and Idris Elba on it. Cool song.
Mm-hmm.
So there are places we can go where we're starting to connect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jamaicans, South Africans, who else? Belizeans.
That's not it, bro.
That's not it.
It's Belizean. I told you it's Belizean.
For real, I've been wrong.
Yes.
Yo, somebody.
I couldn't find the clip, but I know for sure it's Belizean.
All right, somebody go tell Pablo in Belize that he's wrong, because he told me.
Hey, sorry, Pablo.
So,
Hey, Pablo, sorry.
hey,
He
but
said Belize.
he said Belizean. I could have swore that's what he said. I don't know. Anyway.
It's funny how that came back around. Like,
Oh,
when you
shit.
had said it, I was like, "Am I wrong?" Like, I can't. I don't mind being wrong, but I've never heard anyone say that. Like,
Man said it to me.
Man's not hot. Man's cold.
Yeah, I
Mans
guess he
don't get it.
I guess he ain't supposed to be. He's fake. Who's
He might not be real.
yeah?
Man's not get it.
Yo, so yeah, you know, go check out the Sankofa. Jump on their website, man. They have just go, and it's in Park Heights, right? And that's the thing that fucks everybody up, because everybody goes like, huh? I didn't know this was here. And I try to explain to people where it is, and everybody's like, I just don't see it. So look it up and go. Excuse me. Check their hours. Please go. And I'm not trying to plug it to be like, oh, they need money. No, go for your soul. Right? There are, for some of us, that may be as close to Africa as we can get. And that's okay. Right? In Ghana, there is a building, there's a fort, and there's a doorway, and it's been known as the doorway of no return. Because for our ancestors, that was the last view, last touch of Africa they got, which means we don't have it, right? And by pure, simple geology, Africa is the only continent that's rooted in the earth. It doesn't move. Everything that comes up from the ground comes up from Africa, including the people. So, for our ancestors, that's broken. For us, that's broken. So if you go in this building, you walk in and they call it they call it the return home. Because some of us, that may be as close as we can get, and that's okay. You gotta make that connection. You ain't gotta be super duper go find. No, just say, just talk to your ancestors. But learn about the Dogon tribe. That's where we was at. That, man, they cool as shit. So it wasn't until like 1934 when the French were going all over Africa and the Europeans were like, who are these people? Where, and because this French ethnographist, something, they want to classify everything. So they found these people and they were like, yo, where the fuck did y'all come from? It was like, we came from up there. It's called an escarpment. Okay. It's in Mali. And they was like, we found everything down here. Where did y'all come from? Came from up there. There's no fucking way. Take us up there. And they got up there and it was like, holy shit, it's a whole civilization. And one of the men that was able to communicate with the French, he basically told them, he's like, look, man, we came from a star. No, you didn't. Yeah, we did. Which one? The one right behind Saturn. There's no star there. Yeah, it is. There's two of them up there. And he was like, well, every time they tried to unprove this man, he just unproved their unproving. And they were like, well, how do you know all this? Well, it's been told to us through our griots, our storytellers. It's not written down in any books, but we just know it. It's in us. We came on a star to Egypt, and then we migrated here. And he was like, look, it's two more moons up there behind Saturn. Ah, you full of shit. All right, well, they're called Sirius. Told him this in 1934. In like 1973, we had bigger, powerful, more telescope. And they went, hey, y'all know it's these moons behind Saturn, right? And they called up France. And France was like, holy shit.
That's 40 years later.
With no telescope. But learn about the Dogon tribe and learn about the traditions and learn that after a hard day's work in the field, the men would gather somewhere and drink a beer and talk and drink mead. I think they call it mead. And just chill. What do we do after work? Drink beer and chill. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're not that far removed from our natural traditions. And time is not one of them, which is why I have not set a clock. I follow a clock. I got to be somewhere at 3 o'clock. I show up at like 3:15. Fuck it. But when you learn your circadian rhythms and you learn that the moon affects us just as much as the sun and water affects us, right? Everybody says, "Oh, I feel better when I get closer to water." Yeah, bro. That's the African goddess. Yemaya. Please don't strike me now if I don't have. I think that's the goddess of Orish. Just learned about the African gods and goddesses. Sorry. Just type.
No, I'm just like this. Very informative.
Oh,
This is pretty much what I knew what I was doing by bringing up that verse.
touche.
You know,
Touche.
I'm a real producer.
You got me.
Yeah,
Damn it.
I mean, that kind of concludes this.
Oh,
because
sorry.
that was 45 minutes. No, I'm cool. I'm cool with that.
Oh, okay.
We are totally cool with that.
Oh.
We got a lot of clips. So, any shout outs? Because this is Cousin Al's Corner.
Oh shit. Shout out to everybody that's just trying to do better. That's hard. It is. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of pressure to do hard.
Yeah.
To do better.
It's easy to sit in your bullshit. Yeah. So one of my favorite artists, I won't say it. He said, "Talk to yourself like you love yourself."
What is that? D-Smoke?
See? Yo, when you listen to some of the things he said, I know but nah, he's really introspective.
One day I won't listen.
Yeah, I know. One day you won't. But he said, talk to yourself like you love yourself. That's it.
What's up?
Talk to yourself like you love yourself. Let's post more reading.
That could probably be the name for this. Shout outs for the shout outs. And that right there. Peace to the gods and the earth. Baltimore County Forever.